what? It's going to be as good as new once this one goes on. We'll locate this down. Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and today I'd like to talk to you about changing the spur gear on the VRX Bullet. Now this car's had plenty of use both on track and off. Had lots of crashes, lots of tumbles, and it has been amazing. So it's got a few battle scars on it. It is, however, worn the spur gear. So we're going to go ahead and change that out because it's something that you're going to have to do. So bear with me as we take off the wing and get stuck into it. So the wing comes off nice and easy on this. The wing's got a few cracks in it, don't worry about that. Like I said, a few battle scars on this one. Then we're going to take the right wheel off, and that's going to let me get into the gear cover more easily, better access. Take the wheel off. We'll pop that one out of the way. Go ahead, got a 2mm hex head screw here, using my trusty 9 steps toolkit on this one. Really good little toolkit. Get this one off, and then I'll be able to show you the damage. That's what I thought. It is completely stripped and rounded. You can see here that the tooth profile is just about melted. It's been missed, and that's just wear and tear, and it's par for the course, I'm afraid, when you run these cars. But it's fairly cheap and easy repair to do. So I'm going to start here by taking off the pinion gear, 1.5mm driver. We'll get that off. Get that off the motor shaft. Now while we're in here too, we'll lube up the front motor bush. I'll just get my little pliers here and I'll get this clip off and out of the way. If you're not used to handling E-clips, they can be quite tricky at first, you know, and you get the odd painful one. Get that off. Important to work over a mat. It's as easy as lifting this gear up and out the way, like so, and then putting on the new gear. And I've actually got the new gear right here in the packet. Just bear with me while I just open that one up. Get in there, and I'll actually put them next to each other, and you can see the difference in the teeth here. You can see how it's worn really badly. It's making a horrible noise. But you know what? It's going to be as good as new once this one goes on. We'll locate this down onto the pin. Turning the transmission over. Click. There we go. I've got my little circlip here. I've got my 9 steps needle nose pliers here. And it's as simple, should be hopefully as simple as just popping the clip on like so. Like I said, it's always good to do it under good lighting. Make sure you have a pit mat. Take my 9 steps cleaning brush here, give it a little bit of a dust off, because it is an off-road car, so it gets pretty grimy in there. Look at that, beautiful, good as new. Now take a few drops of this bearing oil. This one here I'm using an Aromax. So we'll put a few drops in there. There's no need to absolutely drown it. Good old 540 brushed motor in there. Go ahead and line this up on the flats, and then the last thing to do will be to do the gear mesh. So we'll get this lined up a little bit closer. Like so. Push that down. Lovely. Got good. Make sure it's on the flat of the shaft. Got my 1.5mm here. I'll just do that up. These drivers make jobs like this so easy. Now it's a matter of me just setting the gear mesh. So I'll make sure that the motor screws are nice and loose here, these 2.5mm ones. Like so. Now I have actually changed the pinion on this car, running a much bigger, because it does get used in the track and open spaces, so I use a much bigger pinion than comes stock. to give it a little bit more top speed. Like so. Go ahead and tighten that up. Now, might take a few goes to get the gear mesh right. So you'll find that there will be usually a tight spot on the gear or the shaft where it's slightly out of round. That's usually where we adjust it to. This one's actually really well machined and made. There's no real tight spots or anything in there. It's nice and smooth. We've got a little bit of lash there. You can see, if you can see that spur gear moving, that is perfect. That's what we call backlash. You don't want the gears in full mesh because it'll actually be binding and making a horrible noise. So you do want that little bit of play, and that will, as it wears, that will need a little bit more adjustment further down the track. Whoops. So it's as easy as that. So we've got the on there, pinion's tight. Go ahead and I'll put the gear cover back on exactly the same way that I took it apart. Got my 2mm driver here. Excuse me while I'm just doing it overhead so you can see. And this is common practice on race day, even if you're changing motors or playing around with your gearing, which means changing your pinion gear, or maybe your spur and your pinion. Put the motor on there, put the wheel nut on. All these tools make it an absolute dream. Like so. Give myself a bit of a... While I'm here, I'll brush off the rear bush of the motor. Get the dust away there. Like so. And again, bit of due diligence, I'll put just a couple of drops of oil there. Like so. Just spin it over. And there we go. I'll pop the wing back on there and we are ready to hit the track again. So, hasn't taken too long. I have changed a few of them on various cars over time. This is the first time I've done one on one of these. So it seemed pretty straightforward and trouble-free. And I hope you have the same experience doing it. And the mighty VRX Bullet, once I get this pin in, again, it's always sometimes the most simplest things that can be the fiddliest. There we go, got the pin in there. So that's the VRX Bullet back on its feet and ready to hit the tracks. I'm Brett from Hearns, and thanks for watching me change a spur gear on the VRX Bullet. See you next time.